my bands for my wireless connectivity, and I'm hoping that the band changes fixes it. I took it off of auto earlier because I was still having problems. So who knows? Maybe somebody's like shooting some Wi-Fi rays around the neighborhood. So because the stream started over and I'm hoping that I can just archive this to YouTube, I will do a quick recap. My third or fourth of the night. So tonight I'm going to work on a PowerShell module that I created to automate SQL servers, automate the securing of SQL Server. And how do you do that? Like, I know I always wondered, how do people know how to secure it? Do they buy a book? Like, what happens in corporations and governmental organizations? There's a variety of different accreditors that you can work with. Like, there's one that's called CIS, which is, I think, like Computer Information Security or something like that. I don't use CIS. I use the DISA STIGs. And the DISA STIG, so DISA is the Defense Information Systems Agency. It's a United States governmental organization, but organizations that use DISA STIGs, and STIG stands for Security Technical Implementation Guide, they are all around the world, and it's not just governments, it's banks and so on. So in this case, the one that I am automating, and there's room to, if we had a module called DBA CIS or CIS, then that would be cool too. In this case, I wrote a module specifically for the DISA STIG. And the reason, like, I thought about it, could these commands be in DBA tools? And the answer is, like, some of them could, actually, there's one of them that I should probably take some of the code and make it into set DBA DB file size. No, it's the growth. That's what it is, and work with the growth. But in this case, there's such specific things that I'm doing that it absolutely belongs in its own module. And once I realized that it would be its own module, everything kind of came together, because this has been like percolating in my mind since 2017. So it's finally coming all together that I'm super excited about. Hey Beardy, thank you for sticking around. I think I'm looking at these ping times and it's looking really good. So as long as the like the bit rate is good enough for everyone, then this should be a nice little setup. So again, working on DISA STIGs. What I did was I went to the checklist, and this is available on the internet. And I was looking through this, and it says the SQL Server software installation account must be restricted to authorized users. Well, how can you tell which users have installed or updated SQL Server? And the answer is that SQL Server actually logs it. So what you have to do is you have to select to do some text parsing. And that's what we're working on now. And yeah, whenever you are securing SQL Server, it's not just about hardening, right? You also want to document. That is part of the securing process. Things like, I mean, you can't really, well, I guess you can harden. This is both hardening and documenting, because you have to make sure that only specific people, if you have like some random user, they can't log into your server and they can't update SQL Server. So that right here, this is the hardening. But without the documentation, then your hardening won't be effective, because this literally happened to me. I did the hardening and I didn't know. And I didn't know that that I also had to document it. And so that is an important part. And this command that I'm writing will help us document. I'm looking to the side a little bit to try to see my ping times. Like I'm losing some packets. Losing some packets and losing my mind. Maybe it's just tonight. I don't know. Weird as hell. All right. I'm gonna keep trying. POS. Good luck to all of us. What I did was, what I'm working on is they give you this like as a baseline, but I want to make it universal. And I'm working to make it universal. Initially, I thought that I was going to use most of this other command, but I don't think I will. Does that particular check need regular runs too then to make sure that nobody sneaked in after the install, maybe adding SP? It absolutely does add that to the list, William, and yes, so part of this module that I want to do is not only like making these checks, but I also want to create the agent jobs. And basically what happens is I have a centralized management server, and that centralized management server, all I have to do is add a SQL Server to it, and then it notices some things. It notices, like, it checks to see if there's a baseline. So you just have agent jobs that run at different times of the day. And yes, part of the securing is that you do export these into like CSVs, which is what I was told that they prefer. You export it to CSV, and then you do make it part of your checks every day. Like, I have to check for new users, new jobs, and so on. And something that I really love is with DBA tools, it makes it easy to, I have a job that checks, like, you have a baseline of, you have a baseline of jobs, and then you compare that to jobs that have run that day, because what an attacker can do is they prefer auditors. Yes. Well, to clarify, the specific auditor that I worked with, and that's something that's kind of unfortunate, is that there is variations, right? What I ended up doing was I asked to work with the strictest auditor. That way, if somebody has a different interpretation, at least, like, I went with the strictest one, and that gives me, I believe, like, more potential to please every single auditor. So yeah, that's something that, like, I'm creating all of these commands, and they are leading up to something that I'm going to call Start DBS Stig. Hey, what's up, Bex? Welcome to the channel. Tonight, the Wi-Fi issues have been horrible, so bear with me. Yeah, so it's going to be Start DBS Stig, and it'll just do all of this, right? It'll add it to the centralized repository. It'll create all of its baselines. It'll set the permissions. It will document all of the users and so on, so that I never have to dread this task again. Because right now, whenever I whenever I install a new SQL Server, it can't just go into production, right? I have to go through this checklist that's about like 160 checks that I have to do and change. And what I'm doing in this is just making it universal. Whenever you put open source out there, you have to do things differently. You have to accommodate for everyone's environment and not just yours. And what's cool about that is even it helps you accommodate for you in the future in the event that your environment changed, which is what happened to me. So yeah, this is going to be as generic as possible to serve the greatest amount of people as possible. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that was something, like Vex says, you could actually take this and do like dash path, and then it'll go and it'll look through there. And that's something that we could potentially offer here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to find that for you so that you don't have to specify the path. Most of these commands only have computer name, credential, and enable exception, or SQL instance, SQL credential, and enable exception. So I believe that get DBA reg Reg root. Oh, registry root. There it was. Registry root, computer name, sweet, is gonna have what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna use this registry root to, let's compare it. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, I'm wrong. Right now, what I'm pondering is, how do I make this super universal? And I'm not aware of any SMO that tells me this stuff, so I think I'm gonna have to do a loop and make it sort of manual. We'll see. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at the properties of SMO. Because I'm in developer mode, this is going to be, it's going to take a little while because it has to enumerate a bunch of stuff. And it's going to show me a whole bunch of stuff. If I just did this out the box with DBA tools, oops. If I just did it with DBA tools, it takes a little while to load. First, because it takes about 4 seconds to load for end users, but it takes up to 9 for me because I put it in a different type of developer mode. So, but there's two kinds. So you can see this is really pretty. It's super fast. If I just did connect DBA instance SQL 2017, then it'll just do like that, right? But I loaded it in developer mode in this window, so you get all of this other stuff. And all of this is available all the time. It's just hidden by the default view. And that way you don't have to be so overwhelmed. And this actually takes longer than the other one. This actually, to enumerate it, let's see how long it took. So it took almost 10 seconds to enumerate all of those parameters. What I'm looking for now is this root directory, but I want the setup boot log directory. I don't think we're going to be seeing it, but let's try it anyway. Okay, so this doesn't have what I want. I'm going to go and dig in my registry. And I'm going to use a switch for this. I've decided along the way that I'm going to do this manually, which I don't love, but I'm not sure of any other way to do it. I'm going to put in 100, 120, 110, 120, 130, 140, and all the way up. And if those exist, then it'll look inside for that. So 90. We were looking for a key. We're looking for that bootstrap. Look at that bootstrap R2. Yuck. I'm guessing that if I go to like 110 bootstrap, nope, it's not there. There's another bootstrap. So what I'm gonna do is test the existence of this bootstrap. And if it exists, then I'm gonna dig inside of it and look for some things. I just installed SQL Server today on SQL 2017, so we'll see the results of that. I am not awesome with the registry. Like PowerShell plus the registry is hard as hell. So a lot of times what I'll just do is sit at my keyboard and try to make it work. But I do have another command with HKLM. So I have this, right? So this is about what it's going to look like. It is. Thank you, Vex. I just feel like somebody, you know, sits and finally they're like, oh, it'll just come to them because they're always in the registry, poor things. It is. Yes, you're totally right. It is very special. HKLM. So HKLM is H key local machine. Then I'm going to do this, right? HK local machine. For real. It's one of the first ones too, I think. So now what I'm going to do is do this at my console. Tear it up. So I got the starting point. What? Okay, so does this work? 110? Yeah, it's there. All right, what about 120? What happens when we do that? Like, I guess 120 exists. What about 1120? Okay. And what if I don't really care? Because I have a set number of things, and if it exists, it exists. So if I do error action, silently continue. Okay, then it's quiet. No big deal. So this is about where we're going to start. And then I'm going to do a for loop. Am I going to do a for loop? Or am I going to do a switch? No, probably not. Maybe I'll mix them. I'm gonna start a new window just to see. Maybe it's like the Parisian Twitch server that's the problem. I'm gonna do ping 1.1.1.1, see if that falls off when my other stuff falls off too. Okay, so now I'm gonna make the collection of things I need to go through. Could you throw a star into that path and just work with whatever goes there? Let's see. Can I do that? Can I do that? Oh, thank God. Thank you. I didn't even know this. But look, that's sending me a couple different types of... I feel like if I did a get member, that if I did a get member, that it would be like two different types. There's custom object. I'm not so sure, Vex. Shared code. Ooh, shared code. Was it in shared? Can I just look for that? What's the path I'm looking for? Bootstrap. Damn it, no. It's probably getting you both the keys and the values. I wonder if I can... Maybe, I don't... I think what I'll just do is go through this and the way that you're suggesting it is right, but I think that it might be easier to do what I'm trying to do. I'd still have to like search for it anyway. Yeah, I can. So I'm going to use get child item path. And let's just see. Name. Oh, hey, yes, I love that. Okay, then I'll do where object name in 100, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170. I don't even know if this exists anymore. No, what? No, what? What the? Okay, what if I just, let me just test to see if my comparisons aren't right. Okay, so see, that's the thing. I shouldn't even be showing people the registry on a PowerShell live stream because it's so unusual. It's true. Ridiculous. 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 Okay, what if this would have been so nice? Of course. Oh, oh, heck yeah. Excellent. That's great to know. So it was me. It was not the registry. So let's see. Well, it turns out that that's not its name anyway. Let's do a get member again to see if I can find a shorter one. Maybe view, maybe toString. Oh, that's the default view. You know, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do this. Right. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna be like, I need to give it a name. SQL root, but I already have that somewhere. Okay, and then I'm gonna say SQL root equals. I'm gonna say over here when we did that name. I'm gonna get at least one match here. SQL root / 100. PS child name. Okay. Thank you. Hey! Bravo! You're the awesomest. Let's do this. I'm gonna get my, there we go. Okay, I shouldn't be doing this, but okay, hold on, sorry. Go. PS child name in. Ha! Awesome. Thank you so much, Vex. I do like get member. I would admit, whenever I first got into PowerShell, it did put me off a little bit. So I could see why you would say that. But now that I know it, it tells me exactly what I need to know. I'm looking at my internet, and I think that the problem, thankfully, is not my my home network. It's looking like it's my ISP that's terrible tonight. So that's great news. Maybe it'd help if we'd have separate columns for just the values, so you have a nice, neat name. That would be, yeah, nice. I do like this ISP. I get like 120 megabits a second for like 50 bucks. I could go lower if I want, but I don't. And then it's like unlimited, whatever you want to do with it. But what's really cool about it is that they, I've never had an ISP that was so flexible with like IP addresses and stuff like that. I have 2 IP addresses. I remember you used to have to like pay for that. And then I also put my modem on DHCP, and I just get a DHCP instead of, sorry, I don't put my modem on DHCP. I say bridge, and then I let my my router do the DHCP stuff. And I've never had that before. Every other, in America, it's always been blocked, or like you have to charge for a lot of it. Super nice. All right, so Vex was awesome enough to get us this, and gonna go 90. So what are these numbers? They are like the way that SQL Server identifies itself. I think we can see an equivalent of that when we look at this. Option. We do like options right here, right? So that 100, 110, 120, 130, that's a compatibility level. So, you know, we humans say like SQL Server 2017, but and the engine actually sees 140. Will they always have those exact numbers, or could those change? No, these will always be the numbers. That's how they're identified. And they just keep going up. So 2019 is going to be 150. I don't have it installed yet. Oh, and then check it out. So what's wild is that you also have this. So we say SQL 2017, but you also have 14.0. This is the build number. Yeah. The way that the registry is, it looks at the compatibility level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 140, 150 so that I don't have to like mess with this command for a few years. I'm just going to put in like for a long time, right? Module level variable that gets pulled into the function. It's true. I don't know if we'll ever be using that, but that's a really good idea. I know, it's true. Good call. I'll put in the PSM one. Yeah. Put it at the end. Have to do scripts? Maybe. I don't know. All numbers. You can add it as a config. Oh, that's true. I could. Which is what you're looking at here. This is the PowerShell. So I use PS Framework, which allows you to add configurations to your PowerShell modules, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to do 90, 100, 110, 120, wrong keystroke, 130, 140, 50, 160, 170. And I'm going to do this so that this module lasts for 10 years. 190, 200. I'll just go through there. I'll do that right. All right. I could, but I'm just going to do this. That was the test install path. We're back to setup account. And I'm going to say I'm just going to click until I remember what I was doing. Okay, script, all numbers. Why did I add that script there in the beginning? It's so that it persists throughout the module. It's very possible that I didn't have to, but I did it anyway. Okay, I love it. I got all my numbers. Script, all numbers. All right, I love it. Oh, you know what is, I'm gonna have to pass this because I'm gonna be executing it against a remote SQL server. I am gonna have to pass this in the argument list. Script. All numbers. Oh, I already did args, so I was supposed to do that. I think I just needed reg root, honestly. So whenever you execute a command remotely, it doesn't have all of your variables. And so you have to use the argument list to pass in your variables. There's sometimes where you could just do args if you're just passing one. But in this case, I'm going to be passing more than one. So I'm going to tell it, start with the first argument, which is 0. And then I'm going to say all numbers equals args 1. Make sure this still works. Did Fred not let you guys? Oh, no, you know, using, I believe, so using is extraordinarily awesome, but I wasn't in the habit of using it because I always try to support PowerShell 3. And I believe that there are some cases where it's not supported in PowerShell 3. And so I just, I just don't use it at all so that I don't get in the habit and then leave behind the PS3 people. So, but Bex is right though. I'm coding in an old school way, and using is super awesome. Because this ain't cute at all. I think with using it would be like, instead of that script colon, it would be using colon. PowerShell 3 is on Win 2008, totally out of support now. That is true, William. I, as the maintainer of a module that is based around migrations, what I want to do is, it's not too hard to put in a little extra work to support PowerShell 3. And And basically, my heart breaks for the DBAs who are stuck on older versions of SQL Server. And so anything that I can do to help them and not exclude them by giving them, something that works with PowerShell 3 and SMO as far back as possible, I always try to do that, because not everybody can control their environment. And with DBA, and this doesn't necessarily apply to the DBA DISA, because if they are running on 2008 R2, then they're already out of compliance. But yeah, they can just run from a new target and pull from that old system. No. So running from the new target, it's not necessarily that they'll have that available. Like, I don't know what government organizations, I know the DOD is like really, the US Department of Defense is really pushing everybody. There's that old cliche, of government organizations not being up to date. But I don't know. I know that there was like OPM got hacked. They were still in Windows XP. So it appears that there are some organizations, at least that was back in 2016, that are still using super old stuff. And so that's why I don't know if in that type of environment, one machine can be Windows 10 and, then you run it from there. But also when you, whenever you remote to a remote computer, that is also, like, I don't know if you can use the using syntax on the remote computer, because you are executing a remote command. So even if you are building, even if you're on Windows 10, which does support using, the remote machine may not. That's why I try to stay away from it. I get it, it's difficult to support the older stuff, totally. Well, it's not too difficult. That does mean that, I don't use using as much. I also try not to use commands that are solely available on Windows 8 and above. I try to use the .NET underlying stuff. I do have a Windows 7 machine that I always try things against, and if it doesn't work, then I will just use the underlying .NET and just kind of rebuild those commands. It's always a tricky situation whenever organizations use really old stuff. I'm always rather torn and wonder if we weren't so determined to support backwards compat, maybe it's less of a problem. Helping a new client migrate from SQL 2000. DBA tools should be able to help you with that. Yeah, and I'm not entirely convinced, Vex, that that we are creating the problem. I think that technologists work with what they have, and like it's the executives that are like, okay, here's the money that you need to upgrade your infrastructure. And so it's the executives aren't feeling the pain, the technologists are. And sometimes the technologists will have sway and sometimes they won't, and I assume that most technologists won't, and that's why I always try to do PowerShell 3. And it's not too hard. And the flip side is, what's harder is PowerShell 6. At least for me, I always have to go back and be like, ooh, I did this wrong. It's true. Well, PS7, one of my biggest things whenever we were going to PowerShell 7 and Core was actually the path resolutions. If that could be automatic, that would probably fix like 99% of our problems. Otherwise, we always have to do a resolve first or a join first and make sure that the path, because in Windows it's a backslash, and then in Linux and Mac it's a /. That's my biggest thing. Path resolutions in what way? So imagine, Vex, if you are like, look for, like this, like update file equals, home SQL.exe, right? Yeah, so thank you so much, VTC. So in Windows you can do that, but whenever you try to execute this on a Mac, then it'll die and it'll be like doesn't exist. Unix supports / is a valid. Oh, so then that can never be fixed, huh? That'd be so nice. I'm tempted to drink this highball. I'm thirsty. I love staying up. I'm having fun. My ISP is only kind of shitty right now. $10.16. This will keep me up for 4 hours. Probably more. I'm gonna text my wife and ask if she can make me instead. I got my PS Comfy U cup. I'll bring it to her real quick. I'll be right back. Oh, you get to see Kitty, I think. All right, so, ooh, wow, 29, goodness. Welcome everybody. Tonight I am working on using PowerShell to secure SQL Server. And right now I am working with one of the more painful parts of PowerShell, which is the registry. But hopefully I could get through this and then we could get onto something more fun. I did copy and paste all the code from another command, and so the stuff at the bottom isn't in use right now. I have all numbers, and then I'm gonna say for each number in all numbers, probably I'm gonna build that path, right? Yeah, that's about as far back as we could possibly go to 2008 R2. I actually didn't remember that. Something else that y'all might like is this. Anytime that I put it on Twitter, check it out. So let's say that you're like deep in some path, right? If you highlight right here, you can type CMD, it'll pull up a thing, or you could do PowerShell. Oh, you know what? This might go to my profile. Okay, so imagine if you do this instead. In yours, it might do that. So if I didn't have a thing named PowerShell in my profile, it would have just done this. So what you could do is you just start here. So that's really cool. What is this? I'm gonna have to rename it. Documents PowerShell. For real? And that's not gonna work for anybody. It used to work better. It goes to your profile because thank you. Yeah, I'm like, wait, what? Okay, gotcha. Hey, good call. Let's try that. So Vex just said that if we use powershell.exe, totally forgot about that. The cross reports. Fine, I'll go somewhere else. Whew, haven't used that in forever. So you highlight that bar and then you say powershell.exe and voila. And then you start right here where you were before. So that's really nice. Thank you so much. I think that I do have push. Let's see. I do. Boom. There we go. That has some of Vex's code all up on my computer. Congratulations for that, man. It's so cool that you have code on like millions of computers across the world. Hey, so do I. Back in 2005, I went and I visited Lee Holmes at the Microsoft offices, and I put in a comment. I was very proud, very, very excited. He actually has a picture of me doing it. Nice. Oh, you were, yeah, you know, but that's the thing is, that's a risk that we all take. And I think that, you know, if the tests all did all the coverage and stuff like that, but you know, I encourage you to keep doing it. Damn it. Let's see. I can't stay up and watch this time since it's a weekday. Have a good stream. Thank you so much for joining. Again, a generic username. I will be probably streaming again on Thursday. It is pretty late. But yeah, Vex, I think that it's important that you continue doing it. And I mean, I know that you won't stop, but I had to convince myself of the same thing with DBA tools. You know, whenever you put code out there, you're gonna put bugs out there, and that's just a fact. And yeah, what's nice is that we can respond to it quickly. And then we have tests for as much as we can do. What's up, Revelation? Good to see you. I've done that before too, Vex. There's been I've pushed like it's been a while, but with DBA tools, before we had all of our automated releases, we pushed out stuff that broke on specific things. Thank you so much. You can put it right here and I'll grab it. You're the best. Love you. Got me some tea. Got me some drop packets. All right, that's not too bad. Okay, so need to go through, do this again. I don't completely have my code figured out. Oh, wait, I already did that. No, yes. No, yes. That's one way that you could do the for each, but instead I did it this way with in. Instead of equals, you could say if it's anywhere in these values. No, I totally don't. I wasn't thinking whenever I typed it out. Actually, I don't even need this. I could just say args1. So I thought that I was going to use all numbers again, but I'm not going to. And if I use it more than once, I like to keep it like human readable, but I don't need to. So we're just going to do, I know I hate args. Sorry. Args. So what I'm going to do is results. And then I need to figure out how to parse the args. You can always declare param. Oh yeah, that's true. Hey, see you soon, Sander. Sander is also on the DBA Tools team, and he is building a database refresh module. He also has Pia's database clone, which helps refresh or create clones of databases within dev environments. So he creates PowerShell modules that are very SQL Server developer centric. See you soon. It's true. It's the same exact thing, Vex, but I'm just gonna leave args because because it's ugly, but see ya. So now I'm gonna need to parse these results. Args, bruh. Okay. But to do it at my console, I need to say script all numbers. Can I, yeah, tab complete that. So here are the results. And then I need to say for each result, BER specific root dir. Interesting. That'll probably, do they all say that? BER specific root dir 90. Yes, it goes all the way back to PowerShell 5, to SQL Server 2005. So that's really nice. So I can just use that. And I'm gonna go through and do some testy codes. Let's see. Result dot copy paste this verse specific root dir. No. Can you select that object, or do you need to do a get item property first? Why is working with the registry so hard? Get item property result. Oh, this is terrible. What is that? What is this? I didn't do this. Let's see. Make it a separate commandlet for getting the root directory. Actually, I do. I have the root directory. And that is passed in this reg root. So the reg root is given to me by SQL Server, and then I kind of go from there. PS full path. All right. Thank y'all. Let's see, result. This is effing torture. Get, type get, child, item. What? Get, wait, item property. Thank you. And then can I give it a name? Does this have an expand the way that select does? Nope. It does. I'm gonna paste that. Is it already my stuff? All right. Woo! All that work. thank y'all for the help. It would have taken me about 30 minutes longer to figure that out myself. Verse specific root, y'all. All right, so now we got the specific root. I'm gonna just return the first one, see if my command is on track still. I like to do that along the way so that, you know, I'm not surprised later on. Load that up. Sometimes it takes longer than others. Computer name, SQL 2017. Fine. I didn't need that anyway. I don't think I'm using the root dir at all. Maybe I'm just not even using the root dir. Need some. Why is the path null? I just realized that I actually need to build the collection instead of doing for each. My for each is just coming in too soon. So I hate this. I just hate it. Oh. Already had it. Okay. So we've proven that this doesn't work, right? But I can do a get. Can I do a get child item? So I'm doing this again, but it's because my brain just fucking. What was the name? Oh, you wanted to pipe it to get item property. Expand. Oh, yeah. I'm super annoyed though. Like, suddenly it's not working. I'm not so sure. Is this what you were saying? So the problem that I'm having is that this worked on my local computer, but then whenever I tried it remotely, it didn't. Try that again. Specific root. Maybe it doesn't like that trailing. No.
His voice always used to be there, and now it's gone. I can't think of his face or his name.
Okay, I'm going to return results to test out my command again to see what the hell's happening. Oh, because some of them don't have it. Is this the case that I just ignore it? You see that? So remotely, 140 is the only one that has verse-specific root dir. I think that it's actually not so bad. That might have been code that worked. The where object found exactly what it needed, right? It found this. My assumption was that if it found that, then this would always be included, and it's not. So I think all that we need to do here is error action, silently continue. I mean, we could also do a where, right? We could do what you just did. Oh, I see what you're saying. No, get item property. Can I do results? Why can't I do results to get item property? Hey, that worked. Okay, okay, hold on. All right. Where for specific reader? No. Okay, hold on. I need to go copy paste my where up above. He has child name? For a specific root dir. No. Maybe PS child name isn't a part of get item property. Okay, let's do GM. The get member. So I'm looking at all the things that it's providing me. It's providing me for a specific root dir. And basically what I'm saying here is where ver specific root dir, like where it exists. If you just do where, then it's a little shortcut, like where it's not null. But this isn't right because it's giving me too much. Okay, how about, because it's just gonna give me too much again, right? Here we go. This is where we do the select, hopefully. Select expand property for specific root dir. Yes! Success. Gonna open up the door because it's getting hot. I am pumped. I got it. Party City. That's where I get my wigs at. I lie. That was a RuPaul joke. I'm so excited. Now I can finally move on. Let me copy, and thanks everyone for the assist. I need to pipe those results and get that. Oh, this is nice. So now it's just universal. Anybody can run this in their environment. It's not just limited to like what my environment is. This will find all of them. We got those results. Once we get those results, once we get those paths, then we get to do our selects. I wish I could use that one. Like I just, select object is very verbose. That's the one exception to don't use aliases that I would like. Okay, so dirs Hey, what up, what? We're just successful in navigating the registry. It only took about an hour. It's horrible. The registry works like nothing. I tried streaming earlier at like 7 around there, but I've been having problems, and it turns out that it's my ISP. So this one in particular is I've been going for an hour. So I got my directories, and now what I want to do is I want to parse through those directories for some select strings. Finally. Ew. Wait. So it gave me the bootstrap log. Okay, then I need to do this. Right? Okay. So here we go. Okay, so this gave me what I want. Oh no, hold on. Okay. So now I'm gonna do that. Now I'm gonna return my DIRs, make sure that the command is working as expected. I don't need to do this anymore. I keep doing that. There we go. Let me reload my module. I keep doing that too. Fine, whatever. The reason that it's doing that is because do I need to do a dash raw? Gotta see. Fine, whatever. I can't return whatever I'm trying to return. That's fine. So let's just pretend. What up, Stuxnet? Welcome back. Good to see you. I'm having some networking issues, so thanks everyone for sticking around. It's my ISP. Some nights. Much partying? Yeah, dude. This is just drop galore. I'll just drink some tea to wait for all these drop packets to pass. Thank you so much for the follow, Poshax. Appreciate it. Thank you for joining me. Now that my network seems to be back a little bit, I'm gonna, now that, yeah, I've got my DIRs, and what I need to do is I need to say real dir equals, I'm gonna put my DIRs, then I'm gonna say backslash, even though that other one has a backslash, I don't think it'll make a big deal. I need to find out. What's the name of the company you're working for? We should do some project together. I am working for, I do stuff like for myself, and then also I work for a company called General Dynamics, and I work at NATO Special Ops headquarters for General Dynamics IT. They have been very supportive of my work in the community, and I super appreciate them. They send me to conferences and stuff. It's very nice. I have a lot of projects. What? This is one of them. I have another one too called KB Update that I actually need to work on. I got a pull request, I think August 3rd, and that day I got super burnt out. know what? All of us. Oh, so that sounds fun. However, I actually have a deadline that I need to meet. So the only thing really that I could work on for the most part is this. Need to add bootstrap log. This is gonna add an extra. I mean, we discussed so we can learn more. Not sure what you mean. So this is actually gonna add 2 slashes, but Microsoft is going, I mean, Windows is going to accept it, so it's not a big deal. But what we'll do now is take this. So we have this, right? Actually, I'd created it down here. That. Delete that. There we go. There we go. We'll see if this works. I may not even have to. Oh, I do. Do you have anything specific that you want to talk about? What? We can talk about PowerShell, SQL Server, syntax. Not so much syntax. With syntax, I always just have to like bang it out at the command prompt and see what works a lot of time. So here you can see that I build that real dir and then I do that. And let's see if this works. This should. Final. I'll just call it final. Don't know yet. I don't know. Right now I'm just kind of testing to see what's gonna come out. Oh, dir singular. Oh, cool. Yeah, are you a fan of PowerShell? Is that the direction that you want to go? Or do you want to go for JavaScript or Bash or something else? I don't know why this is happening. Let me back up. Dir. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Write warning real dir. Oh yeah, Python. I forgot about that. So yeah, the stuff that you'll be doing in Python is exactly like this, just different syntax. And that's almost it. Dir and dir list. What you mean, Vex? Oh yeah. Final equals select string pattern, path, get child item, real dir. Like, is this what's causing the problem? Good call. Oh my god, you got an aka.ms Vex. That is amazing. Congratulations. Whenever I was younger, I'd have never imagined that we would be able to, like, as the community, get such cool things. I mean, maybe it does hate the backslash. That would be stupid. What if I just did get child item reelder? Let's just see what happens. Okay. What the hell? Y'all saw that? Full name. Okay. Junkie. All right, so now you're not angry? Oh, not doing that. Path. Do you have any videos for it, Vex? This is pretty hardcore. Is it just because it's a directory? Yes, I bet. So I'm gonna add in dash files. Get child item file. Filter force file. There we go. Okay, I think that this will be good. That's always so nice whenever somebody else is like streaming your stuff. Kind of like presenting about it too. All right, whoo, here we go. I did it. Now, oh, I know. All right, here's the thing, is that I want to add some extra information to the results. But whenever I put the extra information into this final, it looks like this, right? So what I want to do instead is make this more readable in the output without having to do additional manipulation. So the way that I do that is I put this up in that for each. No, yes, yes, no, yes. Okay. Matches. Matches. Oh, matches is not what I want because that's a reserved word or something. String match. And then I say for each match, is that going to be okay in string match? Then reach dir and dirs. No, I just keep overriding that, so I do need to put it up here. Oh shit, I totally deleted my thing. Okay, here we go. PS custom object, custom object. This makes the results all nice and pretty. This makes it into a hash table. And then I say computer name equals env computer name because it's running on the remote name. And then I do match equals mat. Because it didn't go all the way to the end, means that I didn't have enough, so I just added that. I think that this should work. Let's see. As long as results dir for each real dir string match. Okay. So it shouldn't give me this extra stuff at the top. Ah! This is nice. So you can see that Control B, it's Control B over and over. What I would like to do to make it even more visible is I want to parse this. Is this match? Ooh, hey, does anybody on the stream know some regex? I don't know regex. Hey, thank you so much for the follow, TV Josh. Yeah. What up? Welcome back. Yeah, this is VS Code. Okay, so I need something better than match, right? Okay, we can keep that one. Thank you so much for the follow. Laser hacker. I wish that it was on the other side. Let's see. Yeah, so the string that I'm gonna want to parse is this, right? So it's gonna be, this is just too much, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't really matter. It's gonna be everything before logon user equals. Yes, this is PowerShell. It's PowerShell. I'm using VS Code with the theme called Cold Snacks, which is named after a beer from like Wisconsin. I do want the login user out of it, yes. Like, well, all I want is just Control B. What I can do is split it, right? I think the number of quotes is always the same, then you might match those. I don't know. I don't think so. I think that what I'm going to do is, what I would like is, I think that this is what I can do, y'all. You ready? This will always exist. And I probably didn't have to do the select string, but I don't care, whatever. Actually, yeah, let's just do that. Okay, so I know one, I could do a split, but I really want to try some regex because it's so hard, and I know this one. Oh, look at that. Split equals equal. Oh, that's what the split. But let's try. What I want is, oh, actually, yeah, I'm going to use split. Check this out. I know this. I'm very excited. B is for boundary. I don't know if this is. Let's see. Gonna work? I'm gonna get way too much information here, but it doesn't matter. Cool. Thank you so much for the follow, Yuri Mohan. Oh, for real. Is that gonna get the step before though? Because I do want that path, right? Like what I want to do is take this, and I love it whenever it becomes optional. So from here I can just consider this command complete, right? But I want to make it pretty. And so this is where it gets relaxing. I want the path. And if we use a split, then I could do the before, middle, and after. But I think that I actually didn't need to do the boundary. I think that I got too wild with that. So I'm going to null this out and just see what it returns. Hey! What? I'm pumped. Can you paste that string into chat so that I could check it myself? Which one? I could paste this string and I could, so you want this string? Here you go. Sweet. So I think that, so I got what I needed, right? It split it up. That's amazing. Got some drop packets galore. Woo. I'm about to lose my workstation. I'm launching my Unify. Gonna take a look. My setup needs attention, apparently. Okay, it should work again. It's totally supported in PowerShell. All right, so we'll just do just the cam. This can be a Q&A until everybody else likes their Unify setup. It's called Unify, whatever. And I think that the difference that I have is that my main wireless is in the living room, and my lab is in a storage closet. And so I use the Unifies to connect them, and like over wireless. And I used to do it with my Apple Time Machine, like I forgot what it's called, like Airport Pro, and it was awesome. In this case, I think that even though I've had this Unify network for like a year, it still says that what I'm trying to do is in beta. And it looks like just everything is, like that whole host went down. Unify is telling me it's all right. They do have a nice setup, but my apartment is one floor. I would go for the Amplify HD from the same company. Hey, what's up, underscore? Let me check out Amplify HD. Holla. It's just not even coming back. What a jerk. I was having so much fun too. Oh, thank you. That'll be awesome if I can get this to work. All right. Ubiquiti Amplify HD Wi-Fi router. One. That blows, man. I bought this twice, and that is unfortunate. Because this is another big old dollar. Router base and 2 wireless super mesh points. That breaks my heart, William. I bought like $500 worth of stuff. Have you done the DB refresh restore using PowerShell? Is it something I've looked at automating so that we don't get the DB involved? I don't do that. However, maybe I could share this another window while I wait for my host to come back up. Ah, William, that kills me. I can't believe, man, I've spent like $700. I was like, I just want the shit to work. And then I asked a buddy, and this is what they recommended. Okay, finally my stuff is back up. And this is what they recommended. It's 2 mesh points. I see it. Heartbroken. I don't know what just happened with it, but it's going to be back up. I've done automated restore stuff with DBA tools. I have as well, but I think that what you might be looking for is... Tell your wife thank you. Hello. Welcome to the stream. I'm about to use some of Vex's code. Oh, oops. I'm back. There we go. Is it the Cajun cooking? I haven't been doing those live streams for a while. All right, so there is a module called PS Database Refresh, and this is from one of the developers of DBA tools, Sander Stodd. He actually live streams as well. And he also has PS Database Clone. And so between those two modules, that's probably something that you're looking for. Choo, tell her I said hello again. I'm gonna blush. Get even more red than the heat in here is making it. I think that it's like, it's probably, let's see. Oh, it's not freezing yet, but it's about to be. Yeah, this is at github.com/SQL Collaborative, and there's those two. And then SQL Stodd, SQL STAD, is the author of these, and he's actively working on it right now. See, that whole time that it went down, it just like went down and then came back up. No reason. Hateful. Okay, so now I'm going to use Vex's code to do my regex. Beautiful. Okay, look at that. That is some impressive. That's some really impressive regex. I love it. This is assuming that we can even get remote onto the DB. Good for learning in any case. Totally. It's still on my to-do list, but I don't have any developers doing that, so. Matches. Oh, I didn't put the string. Okay, here we go. Add extra properties. I see what you're doing. That's cool as hell. All right, here we go. For each match in string match, that's going to be, how about, there we go, for each string in string match, if string match that, then remove that, and then also add it. Dude, I love that your code is even, I could just copy paste here. That was badass. Thank you. Let's see if this works. Oh my God, you named it? Oh, wow. I didn't even know that that was possible. That is freaking awesome. Very impressed. Oops. I didn't even know that. I'm shocked. I believe that the auditor is going to be used to is going to be used to the actual full string, so I'm just going to leave it in there and say string. Is it me or the feeling of some programming working on? Yes. Yes, I totally love it. There's this thing called the flow psychology. And those dopamine hits, like I live for them. But then they give me like so much energy that, you know, I'll stay up till like 4 or whatever. Like it's already 11 and I'm just like super into this. But yeah, I love being in the flow. And there was a period of time where I couldn't do it. Like I worked from home and I tried. I was doing anything to try to like tell my brain like, what about this? And I was just like offering it a bunch of stuff, and it's never got hooked until I left that job and then started working at another one. I love prolonged bug hunts more as it has more of a build up. Finding a bug after 3 days is the bomb. That is true, but like for me, I get really annoyed after the second day, and that is I don't like 3 days, because if it goes past 2 days, maybe it'll go into like 2 months. Sometimes it means my cognitive load could be too high even if it's effortless. I totally understand that. Not if it's in prod and you ended up causing it. True. That's why I need to set up my testing environment. This is gonna be beautiful. Fantastic. Now, Vex, is there a way to remove the number? I think that I'm gonna have to do something to clean this up real quick. Look at that. Bomb as hell. Okay, hold on. Select object. I need to do it outside of this. Just to make sure that I'm at where I need to be at. Okay, good. So then I want to do computer name, username path, full string. Oh, that's what I'll do, dude. Username, because maybe in the future I will want it. Username path, full string. Oh, that is awesome. Thank you. I will put this in my code. Shit. I'm gonna put this in my code because I want to remember it for the future. That is awesome. I don't know if it creates any output, but just in case, maybe I should do it for all of it. I don't trust it if that behavior changes in the future. The suspense is killing me. Bex, that was gorgeous, and I'm so glad that you took the time and put that as a gist. I totally appreciate it. This is exactly what I wanted. This is so easy to see. I am floored and impressed. That is fucking awesome. What I might do, I might hide that, I might do this. Select default view, which is an internal command that I wrote to just quickly modify what you're shown. Property. And then, so I'm gonna exclude that full string, but I'm gonna leave it available. Did I say PS computer name? I'm gonna have to be like, hey, thank you so much for the follow, Cal Trolago. Yeah, so invoke command adds some junk. It always adds like PS computer name and stuff. And so what I'm trying for is to remove that. But it's so hard sometimes. Look, I told it to exclude stuff. Now it's just like, this blows. Okay, whatever. I guess I couldn't do that. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Trying to get into programming, and I'm lost as hell, but I can see how that. Yeah, it's like a puzzle. Actually, programming, I am totally not good at math, but as I was programming, I realized, and like just taking so much joy in it, I realized, oh my God, this is how like math people, when they get pumped about math, they're figuring out problems like this. Hey, cool. All right. Tell your wife I said good night, and good night to you too, and y'all enjoy your movie. Thank you again for the help. That was awesome. Yeah, so what's really interesting, Kyle, is that once you can program, there's just like so much opens up, all the possibilities. For instance, this it saves me from logging into a computer, or like 20, 30, 50, 100 computers, and opening up a file and doing like a control F and searching for stuff. This will go out and parse everything for me. And you know, it's part of my day job, and my day job has more interesting things to it, but this takes and parsing through a text file is not interesting. However, what is fun is programming it so I don't have to do it. So yeah, anything that I do can be pretty much turned into a script. That's what I'm doing now. Yeah, underscore funk. I don't know if you were on. I had also talked about how like I was put under at the dentist, and he had like this smile, and I totally related. I was like, oh my God, he loves digging in teeth the way that I love programming. What would be sick is to take all of those for eaches and turn them into functional iterators, and then you got a bunch of portable little processors. I love my for each though. In SQL, we can't really do it, and because like SQL's optimized for set based stuff, and my brain thinks in little for eaches. I think we might be done with this. Oh, except I need to do this. Select object. So apparently if I do a select default view, it just screws up everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select object. I'm going to get all the things I want and leave behind all the things I don't. Select object is a strange thing. It'll just like, it creates this XML view where you can't access the things that you want to. So it's a very like destructive thing. I'm so glad that you like it. All right, so check it out. Computer name, username, path, full string. Yeah, what I like about PowerShell is like it could be used for anything. So we got computer name, username, path. I don't have to care about that. What? Okay, so if I do select full string, then we can actually see it. I love this. That's awesome. So I'm gonna show you real quick what I did here. Whenever you invoke PSF command, right? So what I'm doing is I'm invoking a command remotely, and I tell it this remote computer. In this case, it's SQL 2017, right? So it goes there, but whenever invoke command returns stuff, it always adds a bunch of stuff I don't want, right? It adds PS computer name, run space ID, PS show computer name. No, thank you. Like, I don't want any of that. So what I did was a pretty destructive select object. And I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm gonna do a get, so we're gonna look at it, and this shows everything, and then I'm gonna do a get member. So you see how it says selected dot? I don't know exactly what this is. I just know that it creates this custom object where you can't access stuff if it's not explicitly selected. For instance, let's remove full string. So before it was here, right? Full string was a note property and it's no longer here. So if I do select full string, there's nothing there. But if I put it back and then I change the default view to only show computer name, username, and path, first of all, it's going to work, right? And second of all, let's do a get member. So it took that selected that we have over here, and it's a pretty destructive one, right? It no longer shows PS computer name. It no longer shows whatever else it was showing that I didn't want, which included, what was that? PS computer name, run space ID, all of that is gone thanks to select object. But I didn't want to just do select object because I don't want this full string to be shown unless the auditor wants to see it by default. The commands, the reason that you probably never heard of the commands underscore is because it's very specific to, we built as a community, we built the modules, and so then it imports that, kind of like with Python. I think that y'all have something called packages, or might even be modules, but so PowerShell has modules. So you download these you know, little things, and it's really cool because this is what a module looks like. DBA tools. Yes, similar to NPM. So our repository, exactly. Our repository for PowerShell, kind of like the way that NPM uses, if we go to PowerShellGallery.com, this is ours. So instead of like NPM install, we do, or Composer for PHP. I don't even know about Composer. We have install-module. So you get this little piece of, it's super cool. We have our own little DLL. So you get this little, you know, package called a module, and then with like tons of functions. So we have 575 functions that help DBAs do stuff. And then we have some wrapper functions that make it even faster. It's been so much fun with this. Yes. Yeah, so check it out, man. Watch this. The way that we do dependencies is right here in the PSD1. Oops. All right. So in the PSD1, I depend on PS Framework, which is kind of like a base module that just helps you do things in a cooler way. DBA tools, DBA checks, and tester. And let me do something else real quick. So I'm going to make dir the temp stream. And then I'm going to save module, DBA tool. No, sorry, DBA DISA. I haven't published it since I added the extra stuff. Let me see what else. How about KB update? No, DBA DISA. This is outdated, so it's not going to show as many. I think it only relies on like 2. I could be wrong though. Save module, path, the temp stream. Yes, so it loads it. Once you load DBA DISA, it'll load all of those other ones for you. So now, whenever you install DBA DISA, this is the way that we do it for offline installs. What was it? Stream? So you can just save everything once it's done unpacking everything. So now it's just going and getting each of those, and then you could throw that in a zip. and they're like NuGet packages, and then, you know, copy them to your environment. So the published one, I've made some changes locally that I haven't published to the PowerShell gallery. The published one only relies on DBA tools and PS framework. Yes, totally. Whenever I was first creating commands for PowerShell, a lot of the blog posts that you'll find are very like script centric as opposed to module. And so I was used to Bash, right? If you have like a little .sh file here and a little .sh file there, and with Bash, I never got past that. I don't even know if it's possible to like get a package. And so I'd create these .ps1 files, and everybody would be like, put that in a module. And I was like, why would I like add it to a module and execute one command so that I could like, hey, thank you so much for the follow, Magicles or Magic Les. So yeah, whenever I was doing that, I was like, why would I? Because you used to need to do this. This is older versions only. Import the module. You'd have to be explicit, right? DBA tools, etc. With PowerShell, it automatically figures that out for you. So I could go here, and as long as it's in your path, right? So as long as it's here, PS module path, as long as there's a PSD one with that in here, then you'll be able to do it. So I could get DBA database, hit tab. Oh man. Let me go to my C drive. Hold on. CDC. All right. So I could do get DBA and then hit tab, and it'll find it, but it doesn't load it up, which is pretty cool. So you could just tab through whatever, right? But it loads it when you finally actually use it. So if I were to do like get DBA DB identity, or let me go back to database. SQL instance, and I'm not going to hit tab because it'll actually load it up. SQL 2017. So now this first run is going to take a little bit because it does have to import the module. This is usually 4 seconds for me at work, but this is a different, this is then the dev environment. And so yeah, it took 9 seconds, and then this time it's 215 milliseconds. So yeah, that's how it does, like it's auto loading and stuff like that. If I love you, is that a fact or a weapon? Let me go back here to this beautiful new command. So funny. All of this is what happens when you're like, oh, I'll just create a quick little command. Check out check out the this is the issue that I created for this command, right? So it's just like, oh, here's this little thing that'll be super simple, but then it's never simple. Well, it's as simple as you want it to be, because I could have just taken that that string and shown it to the auditor, but I wanted to make something that was more helpful to me, and also serves the auditor's needs if they do want to see that string in the format that they're used to. At the same time, unless I get this approved by DISA, it doesn't even matter, because they're going to make me log in and do that. So this is really for my management, because what I can do is I could just do servers like that. And then actually, let's try this. I have no idea if it's going to work on a variety of servers. And it does! How cool! Haha! Ooh, I saw some red. So we're gonna have to do some stuff there. So this is nice. This is going out to all of my servers so that I don't have to. And that way this gives me an overall view. Like, you know, if I'm creating documentation, I need to make sure that Claudio is authorized and that he is listed as a user that can install and modify SQL Server. what I'm gonna have to do here. Hey, thank you so much for the follow, GG Feds. What I'm gonna have to do is like ignore whatever that is because I don't care. This is just telling me that it doesn't exist, but it looks all red and nasty. And I think that it is here, although I don't know. All right. Error action. Silently. Silent. Continue. And then that way I don't see that red stuff. Let's try again. Oh, if we want to see exactly where that error came from. Hey, thank you so much for the follow, Mantis. What's up? STS, what that stands for. There used to be this tool called STS ADM in SharePoint, so I wonder if you're a SharePoint administrator. If I do error, and then I just take that last one and select star. Oh, that's what? Why? I'm surprised. I don't know why that's there. Am I in the wrong window? No, I don't know what's happening. I'll just F. Oh, pen test smashed the stack. I like that. That's cool. You enjoy pen testing? I have a couple friends on the red team. One of my buddies, he actually, whenever I was working with him, he was just moving on to doing it, and he loved it. He still does. Let's see if we'll see some of those red error messages. Yep. Okay, so I'm not doing it right. Select string. Come on, man. If it's... It doesn't like if nothing's returned, so this silently continue isn't good enough. What I'm gonna have to do, save files. Is it not erroring on the select rather than the GCI? Correct, yes. Indirectly. You know what? You're right. I could actually just... Yeah, I can make it, instead of doing this, I can make the select string. Good call. I can make that error action ignore or silently because I find that like sometimes if you ignore it, it's still red, which I don't get. And maybe that's like some old knowledge. But in some versions of PowerShell that happens. So let's see. Sweet. Looks like that's gone. No, go to hell. Okay, fine, whatever. Didn't even want to know. I'm gonna go back and do that. File. What's wrong with Realtor? Okay, there we go. Where object full name. I would say where object full name, and which is essentially where it doesn't equal null. So let's see if we can get it to work better. While it runs. Nope. That's aggravating. I like did it properly. Hey, thank you so much for the follow, Teagle Built. Like Teagle like Beagle. Like I'm saying be quiet here and I'm saying be quiet there. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in one of these ugly things. PS item not equals null. I think this should be working. If this doesn't work, I have another idea. Okay, I'm kind of thinking that maybe parameter finding validation error 0 select star origin 2008. Oh, that's interesting. It doesn't have as much information. I think that it's actually it might be right here. Continue. I'm dealing with some lag right now. Dropping hard. All right, my stream's back. Thanks, stream. Silently continue. I think that was the one causing the problems. Probably. Let's add in some more error action. Silently continue. Because look, if it doesn't exist, it's not a big deal. I only care about what exists. So that's why I'm telling it essentially. For those of y'all who remember VB script, on error, resume next. Oops. Oh, that's why, because I hit that F. All right, it would be 1. There, all right. What we're hoping for is no red. God dang it. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is tell the command executing everything not to tell me anything. So let's see if I could do that. My pitiful frames per second. Devastating. Just horrifying. Okay, there we go. We're back to some decent kilobits a second. Invoke command, error, action, silently continue. Like told everything to shut up. I think that was the one that was effective. Whew. All right. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to do something that's really cool. Terribly unstable bitrate. My apologies, everyone. My ISP is sucking tonight, but I'm going to keep working. So we'll just work through it together. What I would like to do is select first one. I love this about PowerShell with that dash first. This is something that like I had wanted so much in other, programming or scripting languages. Just that's so easy. Select first 10. That's the only thing that I want. I mean, how cool is that? But what I'm probably going to do whenever I take this and put it into production is I'm going to want to know the unique usernames. I believe in order to do a unique, it actually has to run in total. And then at the end, it does its comparisons and then it shows it to you. So we're not going to see anything for up to 30 seconds. So I'll just sit back and hope that my internet keeps working and drink my tea for 30 seconds. How do I know that? This right here. Check it out. 27 seconds. Not bad. So, So I just need to make sure whenever I do the documentation on this lab that administrator, Claudio, and control B all are authorized. And I can say that yes, although administrators kind of can't really identify administrator. It should be like a name. So, but these do need to be documented. And I think that we're set with this command. It's gorgeous. It's awesome. I really love this. And this is actually something that later on I'm going to parse out because it's awesome. I'm going to like figure out what it was that he was doing. I love that I got some regex from this stream that I didn't have to do it myself. Now that this command is complete, I have to work on the documentation, right? So the synopsis, let's go to this itself and see. Shows accounts that are authorized. Let's see. A list of accounts authorized to install, update SQL Server. So I'm going to say returns a list of accounts that have modified or have installed or modified SQL Server. A synopsis is like a tweet. Description is more like a Facebook post that's a little bit longer. However, I don't have anything more to say. What I would like to do is start tagging this with the vuln ID. Oh, cool. So if there's a pen tester on here, then you could see how it is that the blue team does it. And there we go. And then now we have to update the examples. Oops, I went too far because like I just went somewhere else in my head. On. And we're set. Another command down. And it's right about that time for me to go. This was perfect. I didn't expect to spend 3 hours doing this command, but I love the output for it. And I very much appreciate that 26 of you are joining me to see what it's like to use automation to secure SQL Server. Thank you. What this says, so I'm adding it. Whenever you create a command, it's private until you make it public. A difference between the two is whenever you make it public, then when a user imports the module, they can see, like, check this out. So I'm going to, usually you don't have to, but you do an import module. This is done automatically, but because it's something that I want to show you on this stream, I'm going to do it manually. Module DBA DISA. And it's going to take a little while because of my development environment, because I tell it to read all the code a different way. Whatever, ignore that. We're just going to pretend that it didn't happen, because that's something else that I need to fix that I haven't got around to. And then what I want to do is get command module DBA DISA. And you can see these are the commands that the user will see whenever they import it. This looks at that PSD1 file and it says, like, what do you want them to be able to use? And you might be wondering, well, why wouldn't I just want them to use everything? It's because it just gets messy. There's no need for them to know, like, join admin UNC. That's not within the scope of the module. The select default view is more of like a framework module, or, you know, whatever, like a helper module. The only commands that I want the end user to see are the commands that I wrote for them to see. So it keeps their stuff clean. Now, as a developer, I do want access to those. So what I'll do instead, see, this loads the PSD1. PowerShell looks at that. But if I explicitly load that PSM one, I'm going to get everything, right? And a lot of people are used to loading the PSM one, but that's not the proper way to do it. For most cases. Most cases, let PowerShell figure it out. Hey, thank you so much for the follow, Just Echo. Or Eco. So whenever I do that F, right, it loads the PSM1 because I'm the developer of the module and I want to see all of those. And then watch what happens whenever I run that same command, right? If you remember, get command module DBA DISA. Now, it doesn't have this version. If we looked at the other one where it was imported properly, it's properly named 0.1.1. My FPS is at 0. You're killing me tonight. Thanks a lot, ISP. You're terrible. So now as the developer, I get to see all of these. You don't need to know, like, stop function. Totally not within scope of securing SQL Server. That's within scope of the project, but it's not within scope of securing SQL Server. So I'm really excited because if we come here, let's see, I've started this just a couple months ago and I work on it every now and then. Let's see, measure command? No, measure object. So this will count it. So I have 34 commands currently dedicated to working with and to working with DISA STIGs and securing SQL Server, and I've written at least half of them on screen. So I plan to return Thursday. My brain is fickle and sometimes it likes to do things and other times it doesn't. And right now I'm having a blast live streaming. And so let's see. Let me just finish it off like this. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Tony. Oh, a subscription. Thank you. I was like, wait, why is it showing that other one? I very, very much appreciate the subscription. It means the world to me. Thank you so very, very much. So I do hope to that my brain stays on track. I'm very much enjoying live streaming. It's a fun thing that I look forward to every night. It gives me a lot of energy. And I do plan to return on Thursday. I don't know what time, probably around like 7 Brussels time. So thank you all for joining me. I've had a blast. Sorry about the ISP, and I'll see you on Thursday probably.